I love playing classic Nintendo games, which is why you can regularly find me in jail, in a ditch, or underwater. See, Nintendo does this thing where they make it impossible to buy their older titles, but they'll also hunt you down if you find your own ways to play them. That's why Nintendo regrets making the 3DS. It goes against everything they stand for today, and now there's nothing they can really do about it.
The 3DS came out in February 2011 and sold over 75 million units across all models. So then, why does Nintendo regret making it? If you own a 3DS, then you own a world of gaming possibilities. Some of these never intended to be included in your experience.
But what freedom comes with modding your 3DS? Is it the freedom to play any DS or 3DS game that you can get your hands on? Well, yes, and also no. While the backwards compatibility is nice, modding your 3DS gets you a whole lot more. Things like cheats, mods, and even restoring online play functionality for a whole ton of different games.
Right away, modding your 3DS gives you the ability to back up all of the games that you physically own and install them onto your 3DS. This single feature is enough reason to proceed with modding. You will no longer need to bring your entire collection out of the house if you aren't sure what you want to play that day. This is also nice because if you ever decide to eat your cartridge because you're feeling a little hungry, you can still play your games.
I'm hungry!
This does mean that if you can legally obtain game files, you can play them, but I will not be expanding on that.
We shot your dog.
On March 27th, 2023, Nintendo ended support for the 3DS eShop. You can no longer purchase games or add any funds to your Nintendo account. Anyway, this isn't a real issue because now that your 3DS is modded, you have access to the HShop. The HShop is like the eShop's older brother. The HShop is a replacement to the eShop that hosts 3DS games, virtual console titles, and even custom themes. More on that later. It does take longer to install games from the HShop compared to other methods, but the convenience is unmatched. You don't need to do anything but find the game you want and click install. It's that easy. NES, SNES, Game Boy Advanced, and even Virtual Boy games are now in your pocket and all in one place. While your phone can do the same thing, there is a certain charm to playing with real buttons that a touchscreen just can't replace. If you've ever tried to play a Pokemon game or Wild World on your phone, you know what I mean. Most games run beautifully, with only some of them needing the performance boost of the new processor found in the new 3DS and new 3DS XL.
While the 3DS can play Game Boy Advance games natively, I recommend using an emulator anyway. Things like cheats and save states are way too nice to go back on. And after using them for a little while, I gotta say, it's hard to go back to playing natively with the convenience that comes in an emulator.
Beyond emulation, there are all kinds of cool fan projects that people have brought to the 3DS. My favorite being the Super Mario 64 port.
Hello!
Getting to experience Super Mario 64 in stereoscopic 3D has been amazing, and it's been a much better experience than the DS version of the game that's limited to a D-pad.
This feels like 1997 again! I was born in 1997.
Halo Revamped was also a lot of fun after I got used to the controls. I only got to play this against the bots, and while it was fun, I would much rather get teabagged by real players than robots. This is because most multiplayer functions rely on a peer-to-peer connection, so playing with other people does take some planning and it's a little more difficult.
Especially if you don't have any friends.
Five Nights at Freddy's, a collection of Sonic games, and even ROM hacks are readily available to install, and that's just to name a few.
Even more than playing the games that become available to me in modding, I love the act of doing so. I love going through and learning all the different things that I can do if I wanted to. I love knowing that all the tools that are available to me are because I chose to put them on there. And being able to put a little bit of personality from myself into my gaming console is pretty fun.
FBI is where you can manage all the CIA files you have backed up. The CIA files are what the 3DS needs to be able to read and install the game files so you can actually play them. God Mode 9 is used to create system backups, convert 3DS files into CIA files, and even encrypt your content, which I thought was pretty cool. Checkpoint is a save file manager. It allows you to make copies of your save data and replace it with other data. So if you want to jump back and forth between Animal Crossing towns, you can do so without having to buy a second console.
And if you don't have a 3DS yet, you're in luck, because if you start playing your games on an emulator on your PC, you can take the save data from that and actually import it into your 3DS.
That way, you can continue right where you left off without losing any of your progress.
The default 3DS theme is sterile and boring. The all-white background paired with the weird ominous music gives me the strangest backrooms vibes. And nowadays, you can't purchase your own theme online anymore with the eShop shut down, which is where Anemone comes into play.
Anemone is a custom theme manager. Using Anemone, you can choose from hundreds of custom themes featuring backgrounds, musics, and special sound effects based off of your favorite games and characters. Personally, I like to change mine to match whatever game I'm currently playing through, but also having it match the exterior of the console looks really well and really ties the presentation together. FTPD. This one's a little boring, but it's the one that I use the most. Removing the screws of the back of the 3DS to get access to the SD card every single time gets annoying fast. FTPD turns your 3DS into a file hosting server that your computer can connect to over Wi-Fi. That means you can drag and drop your files from your computer to your 3DS without all the hassle of taking it apart over and over again. Moonlight and Sunshine let you stream your PC to your 3DS. I use this one all the time. It's perfect for playing my Steam library while I'm on the couch or I'm in bed. Steam's controller settings are so good that you oftentimes don't need to change any settings to play your games with a 3DS layout. You are limited by the strength of your Wi-Fi connection and the size of the 3DS display. A weak connection makes for a choppy experience, and navigating your PC is almost impossible with how small the icons can be, especially if you have a higher resolution display. Despite that, if you're willing to make it work, you can still have an awesome time playing your favorite games from the comfort of your couch. And the one I'm most excited about is HSmod. The 3DS does not have a built-in way to capture your gameplay, and the only way to get footage directly from the 3DS's hardware is to have a capture card installed. This is an expensive upgrade and extremely difficult to do yourself if you have little to no experience. There is one other way though: streaming. Using HSmod, you can stream your display to your PC and capture that footage with your recording software. This works especially well with the new line of 3DS's. In fact, all the game footage in this video is a direct result of this application.
Nintendo has one of the hardest stances against video game piracy and emulation, which is why I know that they have some regrets about this console. We've seen time and time again that Nintendo does not want you to enjoy their products different than how they intended you to. From shutting down entire Super Smash Bros. Tournaments to removing track selection from their most recent Mario Kart game, Mario Kart World. Nintendo is getting better and better about getting their way. Take a look at the lifespan of the Nintendo Switch. Only the first line of original Switch models were soft moddable, meaning you didn't have to get inside the system to upload your own custom software. Every line after that required some serious solder work. The Switch 2 has yet to be cracked, and who knows if it's even possible at this point. In a timeline where Nintendo is drip feeding us emulated, cloud-hosted games that you don't own, the 3DS is here to save us. The 3DS is one of the most worthwhile purchases you can make if you love Nintendo games. Now, don't get me wrong, having easy access to a wide selection of classic games is convenient. I don't own them, and Nintendo can take them from me anytime they want, so who knows if they're even going to be there tomorrow, next week, or next year. Meanwhile, this purchase is forever, and now there's nothing Nintendo can do about it.